Shout out to all my broke people. For the very low cost of a like, a comment, and a subscription, you can save the life of a YouTuber. Anyway, I went ahead and checked out that Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. So let's go ahead and get into it. When you start off, what's his name? Cassie, that's the daughter. She's in trouble. So what we're doing is we're finding out basically who she is at this current point. She was like involved in some type of activism and wound up getting locked up. So she's a rebel. Seems like she's like I guess it's more of like a social justice warrior, which actually makes sense in today's time, which I'm cool with. You know what I mean? And on top of it, that plays into the whole hero aspect. She wants to be a hero, or it looks like she's going to be a hero, or she's definitely within the realm of being a hero at this point anyway. So you have that. Then they get to a point where you find out that she's a genius. That was really off-putting. I went ahead and did some research. I don't think she's a genius in the comics or anything like that, but apparently she is in the MCU. They don't say the word genius, but she's doing like research and stuff like that on the quantum realm and created like a telescope or something like that. But it's like more a microscope, but you can actually see into the quantum realm with it. She worked on it with the original Ant-Man, but you got to be like a super genius or something like that in order to do something like that. So apparently they made her into a genius. I can't see no other way that she could do that unless she was a genius. So they did that. That was a little off-putting, but fine. I'm willing to accept that. They wound up getting trapped into the quantum realm. People were complaining about the sets. I have a gripe with it, but overall, it was beautiful, man. All the new creatures you get to see down there, the different types of people. It's crazy ridiculous. I mean, it just looked fantastic. But I don't think they showed enough. I think that's one of the people's biggest complaints. You didn't really get to see a lot of the quantum realm. Let's say, check out the city, right? There's a part where they show like this little city that I believe Kang built. You barely get to see that. I mean, you get to see like a overall like skyline, and you get to see him run through like a portion where there's like a bridge, and then you see the jail cell or something like that, and that's it. You don't really get to explore the city at all. The woods, they're like in this place like a wooded area, it's like a forest. Looks freaking incredible. Again, you don't see much. It's only for a little while. It's like a couple minutes. There's a bar, but like when they get to this part where it's like a bar or something like that, the whole time I'm looking, I'm getting Star Trek vibes. The vehicles look somewhat like Star Wars. I'm getting Star Wars vibes. The vehicles look like it. The bar looks like it, like the cantina from Star Wars. So yeah, you can see that they did that on purpose. They did it definitely on purpose. But it all looked beautiful, but you barely get to see much of it. You only get to see a couple of minutes of it. Kang. Kang, Jonathan Majors did a great job as Kang. But they didn't give him enough. We got to see that this dude is willing to go all out for whatever he's trying to do. But if you think about it, the guy who was the what do they call him? The Kang in the future. The one that Loki deleted. I think they called him the he who stands at the end of time or some crazy stuff like that. That might be the very same Kang. We don't see him get deleted at the end. That could be the very same Kang. And in that, well, I don't think he has the scar, but he could be similar type of Kang. Remember, the Kang we seen at the in Loki, that's a variant. Remember, they branched off. So this is the main Kang right here. But that could be like in the future, he's going to become that Kang, right? But that Kang was saying that he was trying to stop his other selves. Well, this Kang who was way more ruthless and cutthroat, said something very similar. He said, I'm trying to stop the other Kangs. But he also said he wanted revenge against the other Kangs. The other Kangs, his variants, locked him in the quantum realm. It looks like he might be the Kangest of all Kangs or something like that. Like, you know how like Rick is the Rickest Rick or something like that, but he's really like second Rickest Rick. And he's like a little bit more powerful. Like everybody, every Kang is not exactly the same. Some Kangs is better than others. He was one of the top Kangs. It looked like he was one of the top 4 Kangs, and he may have been the top one. Yeah, so they had to combine forces and get rid of him. I think he was a little bit too extreme. You know what I mean? So yeah, it sounded like he was saying he wanted to stop the other Kangs, but he was willing to go way too far. You know what I mean? It looked like he had a mission. He might not be evil. You know what I'm saying? Even though he was willing to delete a little girl to do it. He said that he was going to delete Cassie if Ant-Man didn't help him. Now, people might wonder, why would Kang need Ant-Man? And also, if he's such a genius and had all this technology and stuff like that, why wouldn't he be able to fix his own ship and whatnot? Well, that's an easy answer. I wish they would have explained this in the movie, or they could have gave us a hint at it in the movie. But you can clearly see they're in the quantum realm. Think about it. If you're in the quantum realm, everything in the quantum realm looked different. You get what I'm saying? Not just look different, was different. So with that being said, he might know exactly how to fix his he helped fix it. He might know exactly how to fix his ship, but in the quantum realm they might not have the same resources. You would have to figure out an alternative for everything. You understand what I'm saying? So in order to fix the thing, you would have to figure out an alternative for everything. So it might take a long time, or it might not be an alternative for everything. They really might not be able to fix everything. They were able to fix the power source for his ship, so that way he can escape. The original Wasp went ahead and blew it up, right? Now, in the quantum realm, they may not have, literally, not have the resources to create those the PIM particles needed in order to create the in order to blow up the to resize the his power core. You literally might not have the same resources in the quantum realm. They never said that, but they should have said that. That would have been an easy explanation on why things went the way they were. Went the way they did. Kang, they didn't do enough with him. Like I said, Jonathan Majors did great with Kang, but they didn't do enough with him. We got a little small flashback of him being ruthless. They hinted at things, but you never really got to see enough of it where it really settled in that this guy is a bad guy, or this guy is, even if he's not a bad guy, he's willing to go through any lengths. You don't get to see it. You know it, but you don't get to see it. Because he talked about the kid, but that's the only thing he did was talk about deleting Cassie and deleting what's his name, Ant-Man and Wasp. He talked about deleting them. You knew it, you believed it, but I wish they would have showed more about his background and whatnot. You know what I mean? Because we didn't get enough of Kang. So in the movie, yeah, you probably going to be disappointed that you didn't get enough Kang. So that there you have that. At the end, he starts cutting loose. He fights against the freedom fighters, the people that's fighting against him. That was good, but you don't get enough of that. And then when he fights against Ant-Man, Ant-Man is like putting up much better fight than what you would think. Also, like, if Ant-Man kept his, like, when Ant-Man shrinks, if y'all don't know, he's supposed to keep his same strength, right? Lose mass but gain strength. In the MCU, they explained it wrong. They said that his mass just gets compacted. If that's the case, then you would be the same weight. And if he was the same weight in the quantum realm, whatever, he might have his own he would have his own gravitational pull and stuff. It wouldn't make any sense. You would have to lose mass, but he keeps his strength. That would mean that once he went to the quantum realm, he should be a god. So they need to explain that, or they should have explained it. So like if I was the same strength as a giant like that I am now in the quantum realm, I would be a freaking god there. He wasn't, which is actually a good thing. But I wish they would have explained it. But yeah, Kang did not do as good of a job fighting against Ant-Man as he should have. It made him seem like he wasn't as much of a threat as he should have been. Um, Ant-Man, the series, like the trilogy, should I say, the movies that Ant-Man does, he's supposed to be a little more comedic, not as serious in tone. But the first Ant-Man wasn't serious at all, right? The first movie. Well, I thought it was great though. I really, really enjoyed it. The second one, I didn't like as good as much as the first one, but I really did like it a lot. Um, that got a little bit more serious. This one didn't seem like it upped the ante. It really didn't. But they kept talking about Kang and just the sheer weight of this character. You would think that it would have gotten a lot more serious, but it didn't. You know what I mean? So I think they dropped the ball on it. I think this would have been perfect. It'd been a change of pace. Like, wow, Ant-Man really is that guy. Or we've underestimated Ant-Man or something like that. We could have gotten that. But it just seemed like they kind of nerfed Kang. That's what it seems like. They could have went into the whole explanation of he's in the quantum realm. He got his suit back, but his suit back was only at half power or something. They never gave us that. They should have said, oh, in the quantum realm, in order to make this make sense, he didn't have the resources he normally has, so he couldn't fight at the strength that he normally does. And then we might have forgave them. But like I said, I think they should have made him more of a threat. I really do. Overall, I think the movie was good. I really think it was good. I just don't think it wasn't to the level it should have been. Kang was nerfed. Ant-Man looked like they buffed him a little bit too much. And as far as like the scenery and stuff like that, the sets, stuff like beautiful. You only got to see a couple minutes of it. You really don't get to look at it. Then they also did they changed MODOK. They turned him into comedy relief. Which I thought wasn't a bad choice. Like out of all the things in this movie, I think that's the least of our problems. You know what I'm saying? I think they should have kept him more serious just to make Ant-Man 3 up the ante. Remember, this is Kang we're talking about. He's supposed to be the next big bad. They probably should have kept MODOK more serious. He was comic relief throughout the entire movie. But the end was freaking fantastic. Him saying that he deleted as a Avenger, that was freaking great. You know what I mean? That scene was funny as hell. It was freaking fantastic, but I don't think the payoff was good enough. They should have kept him serious. Yeah, so overall, I think this movie was good. I thought Black Panther, they really dropped the ball on, but this one I think was better than Black Panther. I just think they lowered the stakes too much. So they should have did more with Kang. MODOK, maybe they should have, but it wasn't a big deal. We should have seen more of the quantum realm, and it should have been Ant-Man losing. Ant-Man should just straight up lose. Straight up. There was a good scene in it that was really powerful when Ant-Man was inside the what's his name? Kang's his power source for his vehicle. And inside of that, if you go inside of it, it creates alternate like variants of yourself, right? All his variants, they were funny as hell. All his variants actually combined or worked together in order to save Cassie. Meaning all his variants loved his daughter that much. His love for his daughter was so much that it was if any variants of all of his variants loved his daughter. That's basically what it comes down to. That was a powerful scene. Also, I brought this up when I was watching the movie to somebody I was watching it with. There was one variant that he's seen that was inside of a Baskin Robbins uniform. What that tells me is that there was only one out of however many variants it was. Let's say it was a 100,000 variants. Only one of them didn't become an Avenger. meaning he wanted to be an Avenger that bad, to the point that only one variant didn't actually become an Avenger. I don't know if people picked that up, but that was powerful. But yeah, like I said, the movie was good. It just wasn't. They dropped the ball in terms of it should have been a lot better. They should have did a lot more with some of the characters, especially with Kang. You know what I mean? And I believe that originally Ant-Man and Wasp were going to get trapped in the quantum realm. Ant-Man and Wasp was going to get trapped. As far as Kang escaping, I think it could have went either way. But Ant-Man and Wasp being trapped in there, I think that would have been a better ending. I think that would have been a better ending. Yeah, so the movie wasn't as good as it could have been. I think it would have been better if they would have just had him trapped in there and he just lost. That would have made sense. You know, Kang, apparently he defeated all of the Avengers countless times. He even beat Thor. How is Ant-Man even a challenge? Yeah, they dropped the ball on it. But like I said, I think it was good. I just think it wasn't as good as it should have been. Anyway, go ahead and leave your comments, like the video, and subscribe, because I can't eat. I'm broke, and you got the power to change that. I should be back on in just a couple minutes. We're going to do the trailer for Peter Pan, I believe. Let me see. Is it Peter Pan? Yeah, Peter Pan and Wendy. Somebody said the streets is talking about that, so let's go ahead and talk about it. Anyway, peace.